Hi, guys.
Hey guys, welcome to the Bar Middle School e-learning what you need to know. So it's Gabby and Jen, your instructional coaches, and we're just trying to get you set up with what you need to know as we start e-learning on the 24th. So the schedule is going to be broken down into odd period broadcasting days and even period broadcasting days. So we're going to go over all of these details. So odd period broadcasting works like this. All of our odd class periods will have synchronous sessions on Monday and Wednesday. Those synchronous sessions we're putting out in hour broadcasting blocks. So you have 1 hour where you're going to do 2 different broadcasts of the same synchronous lesson. Right? If you're an elective teacher, take note, Monday are our A days for odd periods, and Wednesdays are our B days for odd periods. So how this looks, a student gets up from 9 to 10, they're engaging in intervention block. More details to come a little bit later in this video, a lot more details to come later. Then we're gonna do 10 to 10:30 focus groups. That's a whole school Zoom. Mr. Boyd is taking the lead on that one. Then from 10:30 to 11:30, that's our first period synchronous block or broadcast time. So your first period, you will do one lesson for 25 minutes. You'll do a 10-minute little break or your buffer period. Then you're going to do that exact same lesson in the last 25 minutes of that broadcasting block. That way students can choose whether they start by listening to the synchronous session or they try to catch up on any work that they hadn't gotten done and then end with the synchronous session, right? So we're giving the students some choice of how they engage with your content. Lunch is from 11:30 to 12. Then we have our third period broadcasting block, a genius hour, more details to come. That involves our houses. Fifth period broadcast hour is 2 to 3. And then we wrap up the day the same way we started. From 3 to 4, we're reaching out to these students in our intervention blocks and we're just pulling them in and we're giving them the time and attention that they need. Now, Gabby, how are the even period days different?
They're really not different, guys. The schedule stays the same. The only thing that changes are what periods you will be broadcasting. So again, Monday and Wednesday are going to be first, third, and fifth. Tuesday and Thursday are going to be second, fourth, and sixth. Now, again, students have the options to attend one of 2 sessions during that time. If they cannot attend either one of them, what we're going to ask that you do is that you record yourself during these sessions, and then you pick one of them and you post the recording onto your classroom. That way, any student who is unable to attend, they can view what happened for that day during the broadcasting time.
Teacher lunch, teacher plan. As we said, lunch is 11:30 to 12. Maybe you don't eat during that time because you're helping students. You're allowed to snack and munch during the broadcast times, but please don't be on camera, on mic, chomping away. That's not okay. You'll have multiple opportunities throughout the day to kind of sneak in some planning and prep. Officially, your planning and prep period is that hour every other day that occurs during your period without students. Now that intervention block, that's where we're going to break students down into houses, assign each teacher about 12 students, and during that intervention block, you're helping make sure your 12 kiddos are doing the work, getting engaged, and just feeling the love coming out of Navarre Middle School.
Perfect. So each non-broadcast day will have students working on their individual learning plan for each class. This means that you need to have work ready for them to do asynchronously. Okay? The work needs to be able to support the learning that was given or planned during synchronous sessions. It needs to be engaging activities for the kids, and it needs to have student choice. This means choice boards or TES blending space. We've hyperlinked the here on the board if you guys need more ideas for that. Non-broadcast sessions are meant for students to practice and to have independent work. So if you're getting them, you either showed them work ahead of time and then they're practicing it, or you're getting them ready for the work that's going to come. So it's pre-work, inquiry-based type working.
Now, we want to point out that whether it's a non-broadcast day or a broadcast day, you are giving your students relevant activities for every class every day. So even though you have a broadcasting hour where you're going to do your lessons twice in 25-minute chunks, making sure to record at least one of those sessions so you can post it for any students who missed it, right? You are ensuring that every class has relevant activities given for them every day, right? So the odd days and the even days just refer to the broadcasting schedule, not to the work students are going to be engaged in. So during those broadcast sessions, you're going to present and review new content. During your asynchronous non-broadcasting days, you're making sure you're giving students opportunities and activities to practice and implement their independent work. This allows our students to have choice, decrease class size, making sure we're monitoring their screen time. We're just giving them work every class, every day.
Now, we're going to go over the lesson plans. We're going to go over the format, the requirements. What do you need for synchronous and asynchronous, and what are our main focus and data points here?
Formatting. It's going to be put in a weekly lesson organizer. Your weekly lesson organizers are due the Friday before you implement that lesson plan. You're going to have relevant activities every class, every day. That means you're going to be taking some larger activities and chunking them. If you're not sure how to do that, you can check out that link or ask any of the instructional admin team. We are really working on getting the students engaged through their choice and making sure they have relevant and meaningful work every single day for every single class, regardless of if it's a synchronous or asynchronous learning day for that class period.
Now, here's a big key you need to know. The zone is requiring that we have our weekly organizer shared with our students and their families the Friday before you have lessons implemented. Your lessons must have I can statements from your grade level state standards. You also need to be able to force the students to take on the cognitive load. We have some question stems linked there for your viewing. This means that you want to make sure that we're engaging in content, but that the students are doing most of the work. Clearly organized activities, steps, and directions. We need to make sure that the links and the submission technique that you require for how their tasks turned into you are clearly understood by the student. Our format that we would like you to follow is to make sure to follow the 5E model: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. Now, if you have any questions on that, you feel free to contact us and we'll help you out. The first 2 weeks, we want to make sure that the students are finding your class community. This means incorporating your content in a way that you're building relationships between students and yourself. So that means that if our content, it may necessarily start at grade level, but we can start maybe some work that's more accessible to the students. But please make sure, again, you're focusing on community and making sure that the students are feeling love.
So this is the whole point of synchronous and asynchronous, right? We're providing activities every day. We're giving the synchronous sessions on Tuesday and Thursday to our Tuesday and Thursday to our even period classes. On Monday and Wednesday, we're giving synchronous sessions to our odd period classes. So students are getting 2 opportunities to see you during those broadcast hours, but they only have to select one, right? They're getting activities from you every day for every class. And they're also given time during that intervention block to get your help for any executive functioning, as well as having time to complete work. But I want to point this out, whether it's asynchronous learning or synchronous learning, the activities are all curated and guided in your weekly lesson organizer. So that weekly lesson organizer is huge to help parents, students, and you, the teacher, guide the instruction that is occurring during that week.
So our main of our focus points for this year are going to be engagement through student choice, developing literacy skills, and growing our math skills. Now, when it comes to data collection, I want you guys to make sure that you're avoiding diagnostic tests, quizzes, and standard assessments the first 4 weeks of school. While these are necessary for our benchmark data, we need to make sure that we're focusing on building relationship and getting students into the of understanding virtual school. So, but we do want you to collect data on attendance, homework submission, other student actions such as emails to you. Are they showing up to class? Are they engaged? Things of that nature. We also want you to use formative assessments on student knowledge. So this means exit tickets, polls, more items that give you a snapshot on where the student currently is when it comes to the content.
So that is it. That's our Navarre e-learning plan. Some key takeaways. 1, every class, every day, you give them activities to do. 2, your weekly lesson organizer needs to be shared with your students and families the Friday before you implement it, and it is the guide to all your synchronous and asynchronous learning for that week. I hope this has been helpful. I know it's a lot of information to put out at you, but Gabby, who can they go to for help?
You can always come to us or anybody on the instructional admin team.
And we're here to help you. So I hope that this was useful, and I'm just filling time while I try to stop recording. So goodbye, everybody.